today seeing this return. I'm here with Bruno Ballester. We have to say welcome to the people on YouTube. Bruno Ballester, Rick Sharma, what a day to be here, and what an atmosphere it feels like. Well, they're telling me he's barefoot right now, so that's an amazing thing. We definitely have Dani Alves back, but welcome, guys. Welcome, guys, and have you here.
Yes, unbelievable to see back again Dani Alves with no shoes there in the grass, is stepping now and receiving a big ovation from all the fans. Lots of fans today here at the Camp Nou. Let's hear it a little bit because this ovation is unbelievable. Well, he's back, Rick. I don't know your opinion to see him back again. We have just hit the interview, an exclusive interview. Let's hear Alves.
Una trabajada aquí. Gracias. Si ustedes recuerdan muy bien, en la última vez que yo cogí el micrófono.
If you guys remember the last time that I grabbed this microphone, we didn't know how long it would be before this dream, we would live this dream again. I didn't know anything at the time. Didn't know if that dream will come true, but the dream said it wasn't going to end there. So that's why I'm here again.
Y lo había dicho también.
And I said at the time that all of you, together with this club, have made me feel very special. You've made me feel one of yours, and nothing has changed. I'm one of yours, and I'm here because I am one of yours. I'm one of yours. Long live Barça and long live Catalunya. And long live all of your mothers that gave birth to you.
Dani, recordo aquelles paraules que ara recordaves damunt d'aquesta mateixa gespa del Camp Nou. Estaves emocionat?
Remember the words of the people. And when you were here the first time, were you this emotional, excited?
Estem preguntant com és que has vingut amb aquestes, sense sabatilles? Explica.
Why have you come without shoes?
I always say one thing. In life, many things can change. And many things have changed. You see, I'm a little bit more handsome now than the first time around. You see? Look, I'm a little more handsome now. But some things in life you can't change. And our essence we can't change. And stepping onto this pitch couldn't be done any differently, because I've become great here. So now I humble myself to make this club very big again. We need to tell everybody that this club is not just mine, it's not just of the president, it's all of ours. And all of us that really truly feel the colors of this club and this badge, we need to put Barça back up to a pedestal, because that's where Barça belongs.
Last question. Before we sign the contract, Dani Alves, all the fans we've got here, we want to know how you be dressed in Barça colours, bringing back the excitement. How is it training with Xavi?
El vestidor, sin lugar a duda, ahora está mejor.
Well, the locker room right now is a lot better now that I'm here. So in that sense, it's better. But like I said before, they're very young players with a lot of ambition. And some of us that have already ran a few more miles than them. We need to put our strengths together to transform Barça again. That's the objective, and I insist, we can only do this together. Alone, we can't do anything. I'm sure that if we unite our forces together, if we're positive, and if we truly believe that great things can only be achieved with hard work and through positivity, it's like the slogan of this club. It's more than a club, because we're all Barça, and Barça is all of us. So thank you so much.
Gràcies. Estaríem escoltant Dani Alves tot el matí.
Thank you. We've been hearing from Dani Alves all morning. Let's hear from
hem de fer efectiva aquest acord
president.
entre el Barça i Dani Alves. Hem de fer la signatura del contracte, que com va passar amb Xavi Hernández, passarà aquí, davant de tots vosaltres.
Of the contract.
Aquesta gespa que Dani trepitja descalç. Per tant, no podem esperar. President, Dani Alves,
go over here where the contracts are waiting.
El contracte que el vincularà amb el Futbol Club Barcelona.
Contract signed that will connect Dani to FC Barcelona for the remainder of this season.
2022.
Until June 2022.
Dani no pot començar a jugar fins al gener.
Dani, of course, can't start playing until January. But he's here already training, very excited to bring his hard work, his experience and his joy back to Barça.
Damunt la gespa del Camp Nou.
Contract signed here on the turf at the Camp Nou, accompanied by President Joan Laporta. Dani Alves wore the Barça shirt, 8th season, a dream. He's been away, but now he's back.
Emocionat quan s'acomiadava del Barça la temporada 2015-2016 i aquí esperem que ho torni a ser.
Season at Barça 2015-16, but now he's back here.
Ara, Dani, et demano que signis aquesta lona d'aquí.
Dani, we want you to sign this poster here.
Després serà subhastada per la Fundació del Futbol Club Barcelona.
He later donated to
I que
the Barça Foundation.
Anirà dirigit a tota la feina que fa la Fundació del Barça.
I'm going to support all the work that the Barça Foundation does.
I amb el dorsal número 8.
And with the number 8, Dani Alves.
Number for Dani Alves. He said it during the interview. He also talked to Risto, to Iniesta, to say, listen, I'm going to wear the number 8.
I think that Dani Alves gets enough assists to be a number 8, to be honest.
Yes.
He's had Xavi's number before, number 6 at Barça,
yes.
So he wanted to pay tribute to Xavi, and now number 8. I think he loves doing that, little gestures like that, and raises the spirit among everyone at the club.
And he said it in the exclusive interview that, we hit him on Barça TV Plus, and that will be available also this afternoon.
Let's hear it. Sorry, Bruno.
Eso es simplemente un homenaje. Me gusta que ustedes valoren los grandes que pasaron por esta casa. Y yo elegí el número 8 porque pienso que los homenajes hay que hacerlo en vida. Y elegí el número 8 por Risto y por Andrés Iniesta. Gracias.
Now we will hear the president.
Hello, culés. Hello, everyone. Today is a great day.
Dani, que es una persona extraordinaria, d'un talent.
Dani is an extraordinary person with a talent and a gift, an exceptional player, and a great person.
El nostre entrenador.
dedicated to our technical staff, to our coach, a pioneer, and we're very, very happy to bring the joy, the cheer of Dani, the character, to improve everything here.
I visca el Dani Alves, ben tornat a casa, Dani.
Welcome home, Dani.
És impressionant tot això.
Everything here is so impressive.
Ja t'he dit que val per moltes paraules, no cal dir res més. Visca el Barça.
I could say so much more, but that's all. Long live Barça.
Vosaltres voleu veure Dani Alves amb aquesta samarreta?
She's asking if fans want to see Dani Alves put on this shirt. They want to see him running up and down the wing again.
No volem que et refredis, Dani.
Dani, we'll change the shirt in a minute. Don't get cold here.
El canviar vestidors el coneixes, no?
We'll go to the change room. You know where they are, right?
T'has d'anar a canviar ràpid perquè tots t'esperen.
Dani's go get changed quickly. So everyone wait here. Dani Alves is going to get changed into the Barça kit, wearing the number 8 as homage to Andrés Iniesta.
Sí. No marxem, que Dani Alves ens saluda.
Away because
don't go anywhere.
We'll see Dani Alves wearing the Barça jersey for the first time in 5 years and doing obviously the first touches here at the grass of the Camp Nou.
Yes, what I was going to say is he said it now also to the fans, he said it also in the interview. He likes to pay tributes not when one is dead, when one is alive. And in this case, well, he started wearing number 20 when he arrived to Barça. Then he wore number 2. And then first tribute to Vidal getting the 22. When Xavi left in 2015, he wore the next season number 6 and now number 8. So it's a brilliant story with Dani Alves and numbers at Barça, with 5 numbers in his now will be 9th season at the club. So yeah, quite surprising to see all these changes, but always with a reason there.
It's very unorthodox to change your number so much, but he's doing it for obviously good reasons. And Dani Alves is very unorthodox in general. That's why there's so many people here, because he's not your run-of-the-mill player. He's someone special.
Well, they told us before all this amazing atmosphere we have right now that there were around 12,000 people here today at Camp Nou. Obviously, a big ovation, and everyone is excited because obviously we have Dani Alves here with us, next to us, with the president Joan Laporta. Dani here live next to us, the show. Well, he's saying to the fans like he's happy to be here again. Obviously, it represents a lot for him because it's Wednesday, it's 2:15 almost. But a lot of people here at Camp Nou, everyone excited because we just talked about this, that we're bringing a champions, because we can't forget is the player with the most titles in the world, and obviously someone who wants to be here. You can see it in his face that he's actually happy to be back.
I think it's absolutely key that nobody forgets. Just because Dani Alves likes to have fun, just because he puts on a show, just because he's an entertainer, you can't forget he's also one of the most professional players you will ever meet. You don't play football at 38 years old if you're not incredibly professional, incredibly dedicated. You don't win that many titles, more than any other player, if you're not fundamentally a winner whose core is dedicated to winning trophies. And that is the mentality he's going to bring back to Barca on the pitch, and even more importantly, certainly for the first couple of months when he can't play, off of it.
43 titles, it's unbelievable, the number of Alves who now is taking some pictures and signing some shirts there to some of the fans. 43 titles, and the next one in this ranking is Messi and Iniesta with 37. So I mean, he's the player, has won more titles, but with a long distance with the next one. In this case, yeah, are Xavi, Messi and Iniesta. So, well, interesting stats about Dani Alves. Of course, the last title he won, this gold medal in Tokyo, in the Olympics, and not just winning titles, showing a good performance playing for Brazil. So the ones who think that he's just coming here because he loves the club and just to make some tributes, no, he comes here to play, and actually he showed good level in summer, and we are sure that well, once he will get in form again, he can be, of course, why not, an important player in this squad.
Well, we all think he will be, because definitely he's coming thanks to Xavi. We can say that he's coming for the first signing, official signing, we can say, from Xavi. And obviously, Xavi knows a lot about him, knows he can bring a lot to that right back. And of course, we're talking about a guy who wants to help rebuild the team, Rick.
Yeah, I think that Xavi has brought Dani Alves back because he wants somebody to be his voice on the pitch, to have that know-how, knowledge, experience, like you say. I mean, but I don't want to underestimate his playing either. Like Bruno said, he won at the Olympics with Brazil, playing against people half his age, which shows physically he can still cut it as well.
It's definitely something amazing, and we always talk about this, that it happened with Xavi, but it's happening again with Dani Alves, that for a lot of the players that right now in the dressing room, he could be an idol, and now he's back again. And the good thing about Dani Alves is he brings this experience, this knowledge, but at the same time, he brings that contagious, that good feelings, good vibes, happiness, and the possibility, obviously, for all the rest of the teammates.
Everybody knows the last few years have been tough for Barcelona, right? Dani Alves is not tainted by that. He wasn't here. He left, like Xavi, on a high, and now he's come back to bring that mood, bring that vibe back, to help the club find its way again. I mean, he said it himself, that he's here to bring that spirit back to Barcelona, and he's already doing it. To bring 12,000 people out in a midweek is remarkable, and I think that Dani Alves is going to restore Barca to the kind of good position they want to be in mentally.
The most important thing for me is that actually Alves and Xavi called him. I mean, it wasn't a thing that, well, a president or a secretary. No, it was direct contact between the manager and the player in this case. And if Xavi wants him, probably, and for sure, it's because he knows that he can be an important player for the club this season, to help, of course, in the field and also off the field with all the youngsters that are there. And there's no better way, I think, to learn about a winner like Dani Alves, the best in the world in terms of winning titles. So I think it's going to be really impressive, and we've just seen now the connection between the fans and the player. Yeah. It's unbelievable to see this connection. Last week was with Xavi Hernández, this one with Dani Alves. Everyone is really excited. Now, of course, the team has to show it in the field with good results, because it's true that it hasn't been an easy start of the season for Barca. But things, I think, seem to be going a bit better for the future, and these kind of signings of the new manager and of Dani Alves, I think, are really important for the club.
Well, let's take a look at what Dani Alves has been doing all this week. But obviously, we talk about this, Rick, right, with Xavi Hernández, that the last two signings, including now Dani Alves, seems like the culés are excited for and see, like, we want to see the game against Espanyol. Obviously, we have to wait for that month of January that Dani Alves will be able to play with the team. But we're now taking a look on this week, his arrival, the medical test, and obviously to be back at home. He said it on the video, like, I'm here again, it's the same smell.
Yeah, he's excited to be back. He said himself that he always wanted to come back, and he was ready to do it, and he would make whatever effort he needed to do it, which shows you the kind of attitude you need to have to be at Barca. And that's what he said. He had a team talk with his teammates, highlighting to them the importance of being at Barca. He said, I've been and played elsewhere. He's been to Juventus, been to Paris Saint-Germain, but here is where he wants to be. Here is the best.
I think, yeah, Bruno.
It has surprised me a lot in the interview he gave to our colleague Marc Brau. So many times he has said, I wanted to come back in many different eras, not just, I mean, once he left, a year after, he was trying then to come back and again and again and again, and finally now with Xavi Hernández as a manager, with Joan Laporta again as a president, the dream has come true, because he has said it, this is a dream for me to be here again. First times are always exciting, but for me, second times, in this case for Barca, is going to be even more excited to be back again with all of you, with the fans and with everyone here at Barcelona.
And we're seeing that the first day he visited the dressing room, and of course, again, playing with 5 different players. Of course, we can't forget that he was next to Marc-André ter Stegen, Sergi Roberto, Piqué, Jordi Alba, Busquets, and now he's back. But the good thing is, what we're saying, it seems like even though he's 38 years old, he's in amazing shape, and he's coming saying, I want to win again, because we're a big club.
Yeah, and I think that's his core of his being, is to win. He's someone who only wants to win, and that's what Xavi said on his presentation too. Xavi said, Barca is winning. That's what Barca is. So that's why he wants Alves back, because he has that winning mentality. And I mean, you look at it. You look at Xavi. Look at Alves, sorry. And what he wants to do is make everyone around him better. He said that himself. So you look, when he went to Brazil, he didn't play at right back. He played in attacking midfield. Why? Because he thought that's where he could help the most. So he is hit back at Barca to help Barca in whatever way they need him to. And for a while, that will be off the pitch because he can't play until January.
And this was, his first training session again for Barca. Well, it's amazing to see him like this, because also he said it. I mean, I was sure that I was going to come back to the club, but of course I didn't know if as a player, because of course for my age, for everything. But yes, he has arrived again to Barcelona, and he will be again a player in this. Just amazing to see him wearing the shorts with his boots and back again. And this point of experience, of course, he arrives here in a more mature way, but keeping his sense, I think, of what Dani Alves means. And in this case, I think this point of experience with all the veterans, the ones who shared locker room, Piqué, Roberto, with the youngsters that for sure they will admire him. I'm now thinking about Valde, for example. I'm sure that Alejandro Valde, it's true that he's left back, not right back, but he will be for him always like a kind of a reference, and not just for Valde. In this case, they share more or less position, but I mean, with all the other players like Gavi, Nico, I mean, have him back in the locker room, having the opportunity to share a locker room with one of your idols, it has to be unbelievable.
I think Dani Alves, there's an argument he's the best right back in the history of football, not just at Barca, but anywhere. He kind of reinvented that position. So to come in now and have Serginho Dest, Balde, like you say, at fullback, and any other player, all the young players really, to learn from him is a treat. To have Xavi and Alves teaching you couldn't ask for better professors. And I think that's also what the young players need, because as good as they are, and they have been very, very good, a lot of them, Gavi, Pedri, Nico, they need still guidance and someone to help them, not just improve, but really learn how to be professionals on and off the pitch.
That's definitely a key. But what do you think if now is a good time to hear what he said to his teammates the first day?
Es un placer estar aquí. Después de tanto tiempo fuera, volver aquí para mí es un honor, un gustazo. Quiero compartir con ustedes también. Venimos aquí a aprender de ustedes también, ahora en el nuevo mundo. Pero del viejo yo solo traigo una cosa, ¿no? Saber lo que representa este club, esta camiseta, que estamos rodando fuera. He descubierto que aquí es lo mejor sitio que hay para hacer cosas grandes, para vivir. Y ustedes que están aquí, pues que lo valoren, porque ahí fuera no hay nada mejor que aquí. Entonces, eso es lo que podía presentar del viejo mundo. Otra vez insistir que es un placer estar aquí con ustedes. Vamos a hacer cosas grandes, porque ese club está hecho de hacer cosas grandes.
Well, he just said it, Rick, what you were mentioning before, the experience with other clubs around the country, because he was in Sevilla, Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, also Sao Paulo, and he has all this experience, and he's coming here in a new era, because he's Dani Alves with Xavi Hernández as the coach.
I think the idea is that the two of them can turn everything around that we've seen at the start of this season. It's going to be a new Barca from Saturday when they play Espanyol. A completely different Barca to the Barca that drew at Celta Vigo. And I think that we saw him in his speech. Everyone looks up to him, everyone listens to him. Dani Alves knows, Barca have lost players in the past, young players who have wanted to go elsewhere. Elias Moriba, the most recent. Dani Alves is here to tell people, to tell all the youngsters, there's nowhere better to be than at Barcelona, and he's already started doing that.
And Bruno, what represents, obviously for Xavi as a coach, to have a player that can sit there and say, when I signed for Barca, I was around 25, now I'm 38, and I'm telling you, because of all my experience, that this is the best place to be.
Absolutely. They asked him a lot to Xavi Hernández in his presentation about, what to manage kind of the players that were your friends and you shared locker room. And Xavi said, it was just positive for him. I know them, I know how they will perform. So he's just so positive, and that's, I think, really, really good. And that's, of course, why he wanted to have Alves back, because in the end, again, this was a wish, and this was actually a signing made by Xavi Hernández. And that's, I think, also really, really important that it was directly the manager who asked President Laporta to sign Dani Alves. Let's see, because I think my dad, Dani Alves, Alves is really close to be back again in the field, but this time with a different kit. He's a 100% culé.
We're seeing now the first time he's wearing that Barça jersey after many years. It's weird, but at the same time, we're used to this. We know how it is to see Dani Alves wearing this badge.
Absolutely, and when I think of Barcelona, I don't picture the team without Dani Alves, even though he's been away for a few years, because he defined an era at Barca. I mean, his link with Lionel Messi and with Xavi on the pitch was really crucial to a lot of the success that Barca had. Now we're going to have to see whether he can recreate that in the current team, whether he can still be as dynamic going forward.
Well, the fans are asking him to share the ball, and he did it. Oh, but it went down. He tried. He's obviously surrounded, and a lot of the fans supporting and cheering his name. But it's amazing, as you said, Bruno, to see him again with the Barça jersey on this pitch.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And more ovations. This connection is really important.
Now he's stretching.
Now he wants to make this second attempt, but I mean, it's from the ones who are not from La Masia, from the ones who are not born in Catalonia. I'm sure that if he's not the number one, he has to be in the top 3-5 of the ones who really feels these colors, and that's, I think, really important to one like Dani Alves. And now some lucky fans that will go back home with this ball. From Dani Alves. He's happy, he's smiling. What a day for Dani Alves, Rick.
Oh yeah, he's loving being back here. He's playing with the fans and enjoying himself. I mean, it's important to have a stretch. When you're 38 years old, you need to warm up correctly before you kick balls into the stands.
We're here now. The representation, as they probably gonna do it from January, of course, because we have to wait. Saying, obviously, that kiss, we're always waiting for that because we know how much he loves this club.
It's a shame that we're not going to see him debuting against Espanyol at the Camp Nou.
Can you imagine? Xavi and Dani is like the perfect debut again.
Espanyol, yeah, but he will have to wait until January.
I'm sure he's going to be at the game though, and I'm sure he'll be shouting at the team on the pitch. And that's something that Dani can do. He can help coach the team on the pitch when he gets to play.
We're seeing that spirit that we were missing a lot all these years.
He knows how to dance. He's a good dancer, I think, Dani Alves. At least much better than me, for sure.
Me as well.
I don't know my skills
obviously
there.
He has the rhythm in his blood, so it's not complicated for him to be part of the party.
Well, again, now here.
We're seeing now he needs to go and change because, of course, at 3 we have the press conference. Rick, you have to go also with him. But in a while, because I think we still have time to say goodbye to him. Obviously, he's getting ready. A lot of the people here for this live presentation at Camp Nou, due to COVID, we miss this type of things a lot. But now we have 2 chances almost in a row because it was Xavi, now it's Dani, and 2 legends, as they are.
2 absolute legends of Barca, and I think the club, like we said many times, hasn't been at its very best over the past few years, and they are here to restore Barca to that level. And I think they've changed everything. The atmosphere around Barca, in the streets, people you talk to, even people at the club I've spoken to, say that there has been a change in the wind, and these guys are bringing that back.
It has been great weeks in this international break with fantastic news, starting with Xavi, now with Dani Alves, but we don't have to forget that on Saturday, the ball is going to roll again with a derby here at the Camp Nou, a key game, and some days later, a final also in the Champions League against Benfica. So, I mean, of course, this is a really fantastic experience at these presentations, but now the chips of, I think, all the fans and everyone have to change, because now we have 2 really important games. They can be decisive in the season, actually, I think both of them in the league. You cannot drop more points because you need to start growing. And of course, in the Champions League, this game against Benfica, if you win it, you will practically make through the round of 16, and that's a vital game.
Absolutely. And look, Barca needed to go into these 2 games coming up with good morale, with good spirits, right? And the announcement of Xavi and the announcement of Dani Alves, it has completely changed the dynamic. That Celta Vigo draw feels like weeks ago. It was only to start the international break, but it feels such a long time ago because everything has changed. It's not the same Barca now as it was 2 weeks ago.
No, and seeing the situation, this is probably one thing that you can bring to the team, like a boost of something new, confident, morale, good vibes, good things, because in some way you're saying to the dressing room and to your squad, things are going to change, and you're seeing now the results.
Absolutely. Dani Alves, I mean, look at Dani Alves. He's out here on the pitch without shoes on. He's just touching the grass with his feet.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of improvisation and kind of spirit he has, the joy of being here. You see how thrilled he was, and that's what he needs to transmit, and he will transmit, I have no doubts at all, to the players at the club who maybe in the past couple of years haven't enjoyed themselves as much as they did in the past, because it has been a tough time. We've seen the Champions League defeats that Barca have suffered. It's time for the players to enjoy playing for Barca again, and Dani Alves, there's no one better than him to show them how to do that.
I'm sure that all the players after these couple of weeks, I mean, are going to be really, really motivated and are going to be excited to play the next game, managed by Xavi and with Dani Alves. Rick, has been a pleasure to have you here with us. Now I think
always,
you have to go to the press conference. And I think it's going to be a busy press conference and interesting because when Dani Alves talks, I think always say something. So, Rick, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Well, now that we have a good time here, Bruno, I want to ask you, because this is an interesting question, I think. Well, you will tell me if it's interesting or not. But knowing who is Dani Alves, what he represents for the club, his experience, how old is he, and all the thing in a package, my question for you is, what do you think he can bring to the team right now?
I mean, first of all, as everyone has mentioned it, in terms of psychologically, mentally, he's a winner, 46 titles in his career. Recent one now, the gold medal in the Olympics. He's going to bring this point of experience. Here we see images, in this first season for him, what a season. The season of the 6 trophies for Barca. To know what it means to win, and that's, I think, something really important. And for example, now for the youngsters, they have started in the team probably not in the best dynamic, not in the best way, and to have someone there who can explain you what it means to win trophies, I think it will be really important. But then, of course, off the field, but also in the field, I honestly think that Alves still has a top level to show, because probably some people probably from the papers or from other parts of where we are now here in Barcelona, they might think, well, Dani Alves comes here just to motivate the team. But if you know a little bit Dani Alves, you know that he, apart from being a winner, he's also a player that wants to play and show the best in the field. And once he's not gonna, or he is gonna feel that he's not showing the best in the field, he's gonna leave. And he said it also in the interview. I'm gonna leave once I want, when a president or a club or someone wants. So I'm sure that he thinks that he has the level to show it, and that's why he has come here. I don't expect to have Alves here just in the locker room or just motivating the youngsters. I'll expect him to be important here in the field, and that's my personal view. But of course, we will have to see it. And now it's true that he will start playing in January, but he will have couple of month and a half to get informed, to train hard, and to be ready, of course, to be an important player, and of course to win again and again many trophies for Barca. I mean, 6 leagues, 4 Spanish Cups, 4 Spanish Super Cups, and 3 Champions Leagues.
That sounds
unbelievable.
Amazing.
Look, the last one here from Pep Guardiola at Wembley. What an amazing images. The one that Abidal lived there in this mythical stadium for Barca, of course, Wembley.
But we can't forget that half of his titles are with Barca. Even though he played for Sevilla, PSG, Sao Paulo, Juventus, half of these titles are here at Barca after 8 years.
Absolutely, and half of the titles, and the most important ones, of course, the Champions Leagues, won for Barca. Also, and other international important titles like the gold medal in the Olympics. That is always special because a player
with the national team
normally has one chance to do it when he's a youngster, and in this case, Alves was picked as one of the veterans for Brazil. But yes, best moments in Dani Alves' career are here at Barca. If you have to relate Alves with the club, always is going to be with Barca, and he has shown it in the preview interviews, and all the reactions he has been saying all these days. place. Now this connection with the fans, I mean, he's 100% culé, and that's, I think, something really important, to have people that feels the cause, because in tough moments like the ones that the club are involved now is when you need, I think, this spirit, people from home. He's like from home. He's from here, from Barcelona, from Catalonia, although he's Brazilian, but I mean, he's one else here with us.
And the good thing about him is also he's humble, he's professional, he's serious in what he's doing. And he said it in the interview. He thinks that we have the chance for him as a player right now, for Xavi as a coach, for the entire team to rebuild a new squad, to rebuild this club. And he said it in a way that he knows that he has to work a lot. And he said it, I have been working all these years to have this moment again.
Yes, many times he has wanted to be back here, and he feels that now was the moment, and that he has the experience, and that he knows how everything works in the club, and that now is the perfect moment for him to try and inspire the youngsters, but at the same time help the team in the field, because of course the squad needs him. And if Xavi has called him, if Xavi wanted to have him here, it's of course because he always and he also thinks that he's an important piece in the field, and that will add a lot to the squad. Remember, of course, a squad with many injured players in these first months, suffering a lot, and it's always important, of course, to have this kind of new signings in the end, because he's a new signing now, to help all the ones who are involved in this dynamic.
This is the first one under Xavi. We'll have to wait for the transfer window during the winter. Well, we know for sure he will play from January. But it's definitely something that, for a lot of the fans and the culers, he's definitely one of the best right backs we ever had. For me, it's the best one, definitely. And I think at that part, we struggle a lot during after the seasons he left. With Sergi Roberto, we know for sure that it's not his natural position. He did his best, the same as Mingueza, the same as Tess, the same as Semedo. But for now, I think for Xavi, it's always a good option to have someone on the bench, as Dani. We don't know for sure the plans from the coach, if he decided to start with him or give him some rest or have him like a second option. But what we do know is like he can bring that spirit and that amazing boost we have in the right back.
Absolutely. The most important thing, first of all, of course, is to be back in form for Dani Alves, who after playing the Olympics, he had no team after living in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. And now, you have to remember that, I mean, Serginho Dest, 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
He's really young. Mingueza, the same. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking about two
teenagers.
really young right backs, and of course, apart from Sergio Roberto, he's quite more veteran. But as we have been saying, he's also, I mean, his natural position is in midfield. He has played a lot, of course, in the right back. But now I think, apart from all what can offer you on the pitch, at the same time for Dest and for Mingueza to have the possibility to learn from Dani Alves, as you said, one of the best for me, same best in Barça and probably in the world history in that position as a right back. It's something really positive, I think, for everyone, and this winning mentality, this spirit, this to have the fans also happy. Some good news after some difficult months is, I think, fantastic news. This signing of Dani Alves back here to Barcelona.
He gave a clear message, saying like, for the fans, we obviously need them. We want them here to support us, because this is not an only job for the squad, for Xavi and for the players. It's a job that we all have, and we have to support, and we have to be here for good and for bad. And obviously that was a clear message of Dani Alves during this week. We're seeing the images early today, well, just minutes ago. And we're waiting now for that press conference.
Absolutely, taking off his shoes, stepping here in the grass, and all the ovations, all the connection with the fans that has been unbelievable. I don't know the exact number of fans today, but the numbers were similar, I think, the ones of Xavi, around 10,000, 12,000 people in the stands. Of course, Wednesday morning, not easy to come here, but I'm sure many people has made this effort to come to the Camp Nou today and try to support, of course, Dani Alves. They will have the possibility to do it in an official game starting, of course, in January, once he will be available, once he will sign and register in La Liga and also in the Champions League for the second stage. Of course, if Barça get qualified and get to the round of 16, we hope, of course, that the team will be there and signing the contract also here in front of all the fans. Well, special moments to see Dani Alves doing what he did 12, 13 years ago in 2008 when he arrived.
With the same president.
Yeah, same president.
Yes,
signed from
amazing.
Sevilla, paying in around 25, 30 million that in that years were lots of money and even more for a defender. But I mean, I think that he showed it in the field that it was a cheap signing actually, the one of Dani Alves in 2008, because I mean the titles and the performances showed it with the time. I would say the same. A transfer in the end, it's cheap or not, depending on what the player does in the field. Well, in this case, in this second era for Barça, he arrives for free, so no doubt at all that it will be fantastic. But I mean, it's great to see Dani Alves all these days, always with a smile, because busy days for Dani Alves since the medical test, the training sessions. He also records special content on Barça TV Plus in Barça Studios that you will be able to watch it in the following weeks. But it's a kind of happy but at the same time busy days, and he's one of these persons that have faced these moments always with a smile, because sometimes he's a bit tired and other players don't react in the same way like Alves, that in this case he's quite happy and feels also, he likes to do, I think, also these kind of things, and he's a magician on and off the pitch.
And I think something that you talked about before, I think is important when he said that he really wants to obviously do the honors for the Barça legends like Stoichkov or Andrés Iniesta, to do it alive.
Yes.
And now he said it like it's an honor for him to wear this number, because he wants to do that for the legends when they're here, not when they pass away, of course. And it's awesome to see. He did it with Eric Vidal, you said it before, with Xavi Hernández wearing the number 6, and now with that amazing number 8 that for us it means a lot.
Absolutely, it will be kind of his 4th tribute in terms of wearing numbers for FC Barcelona. The first one, Eric Vidal, number 22, was really special when Vidal had to retire momentaneously for, of course, his disease, and Alves took his number and showed it for him that he wanted to pay this tribute. And then, after winning the treble in Berlin, the Champions League, under the orders of Luis Enrique, Xavi Hernández decided, of course, to end his era at Barça as a player, and Alves wanted to pay him another tribute, and he was wearing number 6 in his last season, the 15-16, here at the Camp Nou. His last one since he's back now. That is, of course, really exciting for everyone.
I'm seeing here that I have an interesting stat, of course, that is going to be amazing. He's wearing now the number 8, and 8 is his number of seasons at Football Club Barcelona. I don't know if he knows this, but that's also something different.
Yes, 8 seasons played for Barça. It will be his 9th now, starting in January. 7 sharing locker room, of course, with Xavi Hernández. Just 1 year when Xavi left that he was wearing there this number 6. But yeah, special era, I think, for him to wear now this number 8, that of course is also really special here at Barcelona. He said it, of course, for Andrés Iniesta, but also another historic player like Risto Stoichkov.
And well, something that he was talking about during the interview that I think is quite interesting is when he said 5 years ago, I think it was, when he talked about being a coach here at Barça with Xavi Hernández. And at that time he said it like, I think I'm not sure now, but it's something like I think everyone from January, we want to see that role of Xavi Hernández, that he was that former teammate, he was next to Gerard Piqué, we said it, all of them, and now he will be the coach of them. And what we can expect from that, obviously it can be different, and at the same time, they know for sure, and Dani Alves said it, for him, he is a director, and he knows exactly that right now we have the best coach possible.
There is always a debate when a manager arrives to a club and he has shared locker room with some of the players, but as we already mentioned also, Xavi was asked many times in the press conference of his presentation last week, and he said it, for me, I just see positives to to have now the opportunity to manage some of the players with the ones I shared locker room, because I know them, because I know about their talent, and we are talking, of course, about players that have made history here in the club, really talented players, no doubts at all of their level, and Xavi was, of course, happy, and I think it will be interesting to see, of course, how manage the situation, but before seeing it, it seems that he's quite comfortable and it's not going to be a problem at all. All the opposite. It's going to be positive for him to have these kind of players that he knows them really, really well. And in the end, we're talking about important players in the squad, the ones who have shared locker room with Xavi, like Jordi Alba, like Sergio Busquets, Gerard Piqué, Sergi Roberto, players that Marc-André ter Stegen also, players that are key of this project also.
And I want to ask you, Bruno, what do you miss the most about Dani Alves? From all his skills and the things he used to do.
Skills on the pitch, I'm going to say all the shots from long distances that he tried, and he scored many goals in this way, and I'm sure that he will continue scoring these kind of goals. There was, these times where Adriano was playing also in the left, also from Brazil, and Dani Alves in the right, that they were trying shots from impossible places, and you never know when a goal was going to be scored by Barça, because, there was this possibility from every single point on the pitch to find the back of the net. And I think that's a really positive point for Barça, that Dani Alves can surprise, having one of the best long shots in all also football world. And this is a kind of surprise. And of course, all the assists, 101, if I'm not wrong, were all the assists that Alves gave in 8 seasons. I mean, this is more than 15 per season. It's kind of impressive numbers. It means that practically in every game, game not, he's giving an assist. So of course his crosses, the shots, I mean, all the talent from Dani Alves, and as a defender, because we always talk about Alves in attack, but also in defense, it was unbelievable how he was stopping many important players there from the wing with his powerful in defense.
That is something that actually it can be quite different, because at the same time, you know he's talented. We know why we signed him the first time. We know why we want him so bad to be here at Camp Nou. But at the same time, right now, we're bringing him with 6 years of experience, more than he has when he was here, of course, and with different teams around Europe and now with Brazil. And that's something that it could be, do you think, something different from that Dani Alves? You see, obviously he has more experience, but what else he can bring apart from what we know he's talented?
Oh, of course, as we said, mentally he's going to be really important for all the youngsters that are now growing and building in the team, and have a mirror like Dani Alves, who is an absolute winning player. It will be, I think, really important for all these youngsters. And in the end, the age is just a number. We have plenty of examples now in the world of football how things have changed, because of course players nowadays, they play many more years than 15-20 years ago. Of course, for all the medical services, for all the evolution also in medical technology, and we have many of examples. I mean, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 40 years old and playing 2 days ago for Sweden in the second half, trying to score a decisive goal to go to the World Cup. In the end, Sweden will still have a possibility to go to Qatar to the World Cup. But I mean, Zlatan was there. Cristiano Ronaldo, also 37 years old. He will be 38 now next season, and scoring goals and important goals for Man United. I mean, in the end, I think that age is just a number, and Alves will show in the field that if he's in form, and he of course still has many talent, it can be important, not just off the field, also on the field. And I'm sure that Xavi has this idea. Here we have images from Dani Alves when he was playing for Barça, scoring astonishing goals. As I was mentioning, pointing out these kind of shots, look also in these free kicks that also from long distances was always surprising everyone. First season for him, the celebration wearing in this case number 20.
Against Valencia, against Almeria, there are many goals. I think my favorite, I don't know about you, Bruno, but I think my favorite is the one against Real Madrid. It was here at Camp Nou. I remember it was from the left. You know that I have really bad memory, but I remember that shot a lot because for me it was amazing. And I think that's something that we need right now. Someone who tries from outside the box. And you said it before because I think the same as you. His crosses. Absolutely. I'm really excited to see Alves again playing against Real Madrid because he wants to do that, of course. It's these kind of players that you need in El Clásico, the ones that
as we have been also pointing out, that they feel the colors, that they want to play and win that game. It doesn't matter how or in which way. This is also against Atletico de Madrid,
seems like, of course, we're not that close of the.
Sporting de Gijón also in the league in that first season for Alves at the club. What a year! The 2008-9 campaign, first year of Alves, first year of Pep Guardiola,
and what a year!
Everyone knows how it ended, and also this was the year of the 6-2 in the Santiago Bernabeu. Of course, I think also one of the most important days in Dani Alves' career.
And right now that we're talking about this and his connections and his talent and all the skills, imagine Dani Alves now with players like Gavi, Nico, Ansu Fati. You know, they're all new. And obviously not new for La Masia, for this club, but they're going to be teammates. And of course for him is something that is totally different, because the only one, or the only players that we have right now.
This is the goal that you were talking about.
Yeah, and he said it's his favorite.
Good memory, yeah.
It's his favorite. I remember it was from the left side of the box.
And in the previous image, we saw him scoring again another set piece, and against Diego López, another of the veteran players in La Liga, 40 years old. And he's also showing, I think he's being, so far, the best goalkeeper in La Liga, Diego López. He will be here on Saturday. He's showing brilliant saves and skills for Espanyol. And again, I think 8 is just a number, and what a goal they won here at the Bernabeu. And getting what you were saying about the youngsters, absolutely, I think he's going to be really important for all these players. The respect.
No, but imagine the connections with them, because we know they're all talented, they're amazing. Gavi, what he's doing with the Spanish national team, everything, it's amazing. We're seeing now the images when he was getting ready for that press conference.
Gavi's 17, Alves is 38. He could be his dad, for example. Imagine, if you go in terms of numbers, he has
21 years old,
he has to be impressive for all these players to see a legend like Dani Alves back in the club, and this effect that has to,
Can you imagine? Well, probably he was thinking like, this is now different, but he knows exactly what it is to be in this dressing room.
And Piqué.
Seems like, all friends.
Absolutely. Many memories years ago, and now they will be back again together. It's unbelievable, to see these images. It's also emotional, I think, to see Alves again wearing the Blaugrana colors.
And emotional at the same time, not just for him. I think for everyone, because when you have a player that he really wants to come that bad, to say, I want to be here, I want to go there. He said it, he tried many times. And right now, this time, he said, it's like fulfill a dream. It's like dreams can come true, because I'm here again. And I knew inside to myself, I said, I'm going to be back at Camp Nou. I'm going to be back at Barcelona and Camp Nou. We will have the press conference now, but we will stay here for sure. So let's move to the press room. Well, we're seeing Joan Laporta, Rafael Juste, Mateu Alemany, and of course, the ben tornat, Dani Alves.
And this press conference that will start right now, Dani Alves,
encetem la segona part de la presentació de Dani Alves. Ens acompanyen en aquest moment el president del Futbol Club Barcelona, el senyor Joan Laporta,
he left in the 15-16 campaign, and he's back. He has signed contract until June 2022, and he wants, of course, to win again and again many more trophies for FC Barcelona. I think now they're going to play, they're going to show here, first of all, this shirt, the one that Alves will wear. We already saw it in the field. Number 8, making and paying tribute actually to Andrés Iniesta and Stoichkov. He mentioned it. He likes to pay tributes when everyone is alive, to recognize all this effort, and many journalists, of course, and photographers today.
It's a special day because this is not a normal signing. It's not a new player. He knows the house. It's his return. And the return of someone like this is unbelievable for everyone.
Absolutely. Busy weeks also for Mateu Alemany, of course.
Vull donar la paraula en primer lloc al president, al senyor Joan Laporta, que dirigirà unes paraules.
Bé, moltes gràcies. Gràcies a tots per ser aquí avui. Gràcies, Dani. Gràcies, Dani, per tornar al Barça. Ho farem una altra vegada, ho faràs una altra vegada. I bé, avui és un dia d'una gran alegria. És un dia
a day to be very happy, full of emotions.
Són d'aquelles emocions
These emotions
que havíem tingut,
we repeat that we've had when Dani first came to Barça.
Amb aquestes emocions.
We all went through all these emotions.
El Dani és fruit d'una persona que s'ha fet a si mateix, que ha lluitat, que a més té...
The fruit of a person that he made himself, a self-made person that brings this joy and spirit and the character wherever he goes. And we've already seen that, the spectacle of him in the stadium. He's the sort of person that people love, that Barça fans love, and Dani has given that, everything of his character. It's something that he's given. He's a player with the most titles in history. Congratulations. And what's more, for us, he's taken the decision. Dani and I have had this relationship, friendship during these years. And he commented to me that he wanted to come back. He really wanted to come back and help. And so he wanted to come here, help, fight to win, fight this, help this team that we're creating. So we spoke, Justin, Mateu Loman, and looked at the last year of Dani. It's someone that we all considered physically ready. He's got a very good physical fitness. I remember when we first signed him,
el Barça i el Dani i els seus acompanyants, els seus representants, felicitats també.
Barça, Dani, we spoke with Dani and his representatives as well. Hello to them and congratulations to your hard work as well.
Jo estic molt en forma perquè
and he said, I'm very in good shape. And I go and study 20 kilometers from where I live, and I go, I come back running these 20 kilometers. And that was part of the physical fitness that Dani had. But especially for me, it's the excellent personality and the character that he gives to us. A person that's very competitive, and he's bringing that characteristic and that personality to the team. And also he's a player that I won't repeat all of his titles because he's the player with most titles in history. And so I want to say thank you to everyone. Many thanks. And now we'll hear from Dani. Before we start your press conference,
com estàs després del que hem viscut
do you want to share with us
Camp Nou, que estaves emocionat?
how you're feeling after you've seen the Camp Nou?
Bom dia a tothom.
Good day to everybody.
Para mim é gran honor.
For me, it's a great honor
Gran placer
and a great pleasure
la camiseta del Barça.
to be wearing this shirt again, the Barça shirt.
Muito tempo. O presidente me dava a oportunidade de viver as coisas mais bonitas que eu podia viver.
A long time ago, this president gave me the opportunity to live the best years of my life.
A oportunidade de seguir vivendo as coisas mais bonitas como futebolista nesse clube.
It was the opportunity to live the best years as a football player in this club.
Viver grandes momentos porque
And now we have to build the team together again to live these great moments once again. This is unique and very special. We are more than a club. This is much more than a club, and that's why I'm here.
Gràcies, Dani.
Thank you, Dani.
També val a dir que en la gestació d'aquesta incorporació del Dani al club,
in the management of the signing of Dani to the club,
amb el Dani, quan ens vam retrobar amb el Xavi, li vaig comentar que el Dani m'havia dit que estava disponible.
Commented that maybe Dani was available to help.
Immediatament dir, escolta, el Dani és...
Xavi said to me, hey, listen, Dani is one of the people that I need. I need him in the team. And so things ended up as they have. And that was the idea for everyone to sign him.
Gràcies, president.
Tell everyone what Xavi said.
Dani és el jugador amb més títols, doncs ni més ni menys
As
que la
the
meitat
president
els guanya amb el Barça.
Dani
23 títols amb el Barça en 8 temporades, on va jugar 391 partits, 23 gols.
Most titled player in Barça.
Thank you again, President, because a great part of this history was done here, and we're going to continue doing this.
It's a history that will continue.
Aquesta temporada, Dani, aquest vídeo de presentació és per tu.
So this video is for you.
It feels so...
Benvinguts a Barça! Aquest és el millor club del món mundial!
Hola, culers! Ja estic aquí en Barcelona, ja estic aquí amb vosaltres. Estic molt feliç, estic molt content de tornar a la meva casa. Espero verlos pronto para disfrutar y para reconstruir el Barça que tanto estimamos. Betonet.
Dani Alves.
Dani Alves a Ronaldo.
A la descarramata, gol!
Nanu! Una trabajada.
Sí, este equipo gana. Este equipo está hecho de roca, señoras y señores. No sé cuánto durará, pero que sea eterno mientras dure. Aquí fui feliz, aquí soy feliz, porque soy uno más de ustedes. Visca el Barça, visca Cataluña y visca la madre que parió a todo eso.
Comencem el torn de preguntes.
Gràcies, Cristina. Recordeu, sisplau, una pregunta per torn i per mitjà indicant a quina persona us dirigiu. En aquest cas, haurem de reduir a 30 minuts per temes de gent de la roda de premsa. Començarem amb el torn de Marc Brau, Barça TV.
Hola, Dani. Aquí, bona tarda.
Starting with Mark Brau.
De tot. A la teva dreta, aquí. Què tal? Abans hem parlat abans que tinguessis la presentació, però més enllà de tot el que has pogut viure també durant el dia d'avui, vull que ens expliquis com han estat aquests dos primers dies del club, que has pogut fer dues sessions d'entrenament,
Can you also talk about the first days in the club, training?
Com han estat aquests primers 2 dies?
How have they been?
Muy especial.
Very special. Very special because to wear the Barça shirt again is just very special. To come in, walk into the locker room, see my teammates, some of my old teammates who are still there, have made me feel very at home. And also meeting the young players coming up. Try to be as professional as possible in defending these colors, and I do so with a lot of satisfaction. It reminded me of all the great moments I lived here. But above all, I want to bring in some joy and excitement. In these last few years, things have taken a negative spin, and I'm here to change it, and we all need to be positive. We can't focus on the problems, but more on the solutions. So I think that's what our mission is. That's what the mission of the club is. And Xavi's and my mission as well. We can only do this together. So it's the moment right now to unite everybody, all the Barça fans, and we will transform the club like we did a few years back. So it's a marvelous opportunity. The challenge is huge, but my ambition and will is even greater.
Què tal? Dani, aquí al fons, Ramon Salmurri de Catalunya Ràdio. Benvingut de nou. Aquesta segona tornada al Barça t'enganxa amb 38 anys després d'un temps sense jugar.
At Barça, 38 years old. What's the Dani Alves that we should expect? What can you bring to this team?
Yo siempre digo que muchas cosas en nuestra vida como seres humanos, ellas van.
I always say a lot of things in life.
Haciéndose diferente.
Make us different.
Yo creo que no cambia, si cambia, pues tenemos que.
And when things change, we need to reinvent ourselves.
Las ganas y el espíritu de luchar por aquello que tú deseas.
The will and the spirit, the fighting spirit.
Yo creo que quizás ahora
we need to have
un poquito menos de pelo, pero las ganas van a ser igual.
Maybe I have a little less hair, but my drive continues the same. I know what this club represents. I know the history that Barça has. I know what it means to represent these colors. And I accept the challenge because I know what I can give to this team. Like I've done always. I know what I've given to this club, not just on the pitch, but also off of it. I know how everything works here with regards to the club, the fans, and this whole circle of energy will help to change things around. And that's the objective. We've also spoiled the fans very much over the past years with winning so many titles. So the fans need to be realistic, but they know the strength of the club and team. And of course, we count on the fans. So like I said, we need to be united. We all need to sail towards the same direction.
Hola, Dani. Aquí darrere, Marta Ramon, en directe a RAC1. M'agradaria que ens expliquessis
I'd like if you could explain
com són aquestes converses amb Xavi.
Your return
Com ho vius tu?
has been handled. What were the conversations you had with Dani? Did you say you were available to come back free? Was that really the case? Could you explain us how you feel coming to club in this difficult moment?
Truth be told, I was bothering the president a lot. I kept insisting that I wanted to come back. I told him that I was able to help this club. This club has given me everything I have to me and my family. I didn't see it as an obligation, but it was a pleasure for me to help during these difficult times. So I was bothering him and bothering him.
So
I guess once Xavi was signed as manager, Laporta said, "Here, Xavi, now he's your problem." And Xavi called me and said he counted on me, and all the rest was easy. Because when one wants something, one can achieve it. All the external factors often don't matter. The money, all that stuff is less important. It's important maybe for my family, but for me it's not the most important. You can call me simple, but all I need is my family and the people I take care of close to me. But it wasn't a moment to think about that. It was the moment now for me to come back to Barça and to be part of this transformation once again. And in the end, all the other details were just very easy. didn't even need to think about it, neither the club nor myself. It was all secondary. Above all, when Barça actually calls you to come back. So that's why I'm here, to rebuild this Barça that we all want. And I'm at the disposal of the club to put Barça up where it belongs, and we can enjoy it again. Everything, and when you win, everything is beautiful.
Hola, Dani, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. Adrián Alves, en directo en Ser Deportivos de la cadena Ser. Bienvenido de nuevo a Barcelona.
Welcome back to Barcelona.
Tienes 38 años.
You're 38
el
years
otro
old.
día en el hospital,
The other
cuando pasaste
day,
la revisión médica, decías,
when you
yo soy
passed the
forever
medical
young.
tests in the hospital, you said, I'm forever young.
Hablaba de ti diciendo que eres superdotado físicamente.
President just now said that you're super in shape.
Titular en este Barça, o te
How do you see it
conformas con un
as
rol
being in the starting 11 of Barça, or do you think you might have a secondary role?
Yo nunca nací para ser segundo, la verdad.
I never was born to be a second. I've always thought that I was first. I wanted to be born earlier, but my mom managed to keep me inside quite long. I'm here to compete. I have my life here, my house, but I've come here to play and to fight for a position.
No es porque hice historia aquí en este club, no es porque tengo una muy buena relación con el entrenador.
I have a great relationship with the coach and the president.
Yo creo que con mi trabajo yo voy a
And I think that with my work rate, I'm going to achieve everything that I have in mind. I'm going to fight and help the team on and off the pitch. But first of all, on the pitch, that's my objective. I always said that since I've been here,
números, ¿no? La gente ve, se está viendo muchos otros grandísimos jugadores ahí con la edad superior ya a la media hoy del fútbol.
People have seen many players late into their stage play.
El objetivo mío lo acabo de demostrar en las Olimpiadas también.
And my objective, as I demonstrated in the Olympic Games, where people were also doubting me, is to win. So obviously I understand the skepticism of people of my return, but I'm going to respond the best way, and that is playing.
Elena Condis de la cadena COPE, bienvenido. Es una semana, son unos días, ¿no? De vueltas a casa, de
a couple of days that you've been back at home. Culés are very excited, first with Xavi and now with you. Do you think Messi regrets leaving now that you're all back?
¿Qué digo?
What should I say?
Si me presta un par de euros ahí, lo voy a buscarlo, ¿eh?
If he lends me a few euros, I'll go and pick him up.
Ellas han sido escritas y
I think some stories are already written,
van a ser recordadas siempre, ¿no?
And they'll be forever remembered.
El pibe es lo más grande que he podido ver.
Messi is the best player I've ever seen, my best teammate I've ever had. And you always miss the big players, of course. That's normal. I have a great relationship with him. I miss him. It would be incredible if he would come back. Unfortunately, it's not the case now here. He's not here now, but he knows I love him and his family. And he knows I wish him nothing but the best. But right now, we're in a new process. I've been lucky to come back, and I encourage everybody to come back because this is the best place to be. I can guarantee you that. I've been in many other places, but there's no place like here, like Barça. Things are different now. We need to think that the process right now is a different one, and we need to try to make this club great again with what we have at our disposition.
Hola, aquí Germán García, Radio Nacional. Era la pregunta para el presidente a su derecha, presidente. Aquí. Bueno, sobre todo a Dani, pues darle la bienvenida de nuevo.
Dani, welcome back.
Que tenga mucha suerte. Pero
and I wish you the best of luck. But my question is for the president. 10,000 people were chanting his name, Dani Alves. Do you imagine also this happening with Messi?
No lo descarto.
I would never rule it out.
Que ha sucedido con
It's something that's happened with Dani.
Le quiero agradecer porque Dani
And I'm very grateful
primero, la
to
edad
him
es un número.
Because he always said very clearly, age is just a number.
Y quiero venir a
And then
ayudar.
also he saw the situation of the club. He made an effort to come back and he says, I want to be in the starting 11 and help from the inside. And then also he's made a real financial effort. He knows that we've got
revertir, estamos convencidos.
Resources and things that we're going to pay him back, and we're convinced of that.
Vamos por buen camino.
Also, they're on the good path.
Bueno, pues Dani haya hecho este esfuerzo es de agradecer, ¿no?
The fact that he's made this effort is something we have to be grateful for.
Todos los culés, fijaros, hoy con Dani,
all the culés.
Mañana sería con otros.
Today with Dani. Tomorrow,
personalidades que han hecho grande este club.
With other personalities that the club have made great, and you're talking to me about two players that are spectacular.
Me hablas de Leo, me hablas de Iniesta.
Leo, Iniesta.
Oye, yo no puedo predecir el futuro.
I can't predict the future.
Son dos jugadores que
These are
aún
two
están
players
jugando, que son
who are still playing. They're still great from Barça. They grew here. They became great here.
Siempre los tenemos siempre en nuestra memoria.
We'll always remember them. We'll always have them in our memory. We'll always have them in our mind. But at this moment, they're players with contracts at other clubs, and I understand that we have to respect that.
Bueno, en la vida nunca se sabe.
But in life, you never know.
Buenas tardes, Dani. Alfredo Martínez, Onda Cero, bienvenido de nuevo. ¿Cómo estás? 10.400 personas han venido un día.
10,400 people have come here on a working day for your presentation. You've built up a lot of hopes already. A lot of fans outside of Barcelona and Madrid, for example, have said, oh, this is excessive. Do you think this is acceptable for Dani Alves to come to Barça?
Si quiere, también. Yo creo que y la gente lo sabe.
The people know
yo tengo y siempre he tenido
the respect that I have for them
por los colores que ellos
and for the colors that I represent and I defend.
Me gustaría agradecer a todos ellos.
I would like to show my appreciation towards all of them. It's been great meeting them again.
Yo creo que lo puedo garantizar porque eso está a mi alcance.
Guarantee
yo no les voy a fallar.
That I'm not going to fail them.
Ni a ellos ni a los que no han podido venir.
Not them, nor the fans that weren't able to make it today.
A desde representarlos.
I come here to represent them.
Ellos me hicieron sentirme uno
de ellos. Made me feel one of them, and that's why I'm here.
Creo que ese reencuentro
I think that this
muy especial.
Meeting
que ellos
was very special.
Son representantes de ellos, porque
and
todo lo que
inside, I truly feel that I'm a representative of theirs.
Entonces, vuelvo a insistir, agradecerles otra vez.
I insist, I want to show my appreciation that they were here today for my presentation and thank them.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Alejandro Segura en directo para Radio Marca. Lo primero, bienvenido, Dani, de vuelta. Mi pregunta es para el presidente o para Mateu. Con la llegada de Dani Alves...
With the arrival of Dani Alves, as well as with the new technical staff, how is the salary cap right now of Barça keeping into account the limit? And will you be able to make any transfers in the winter market?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Bueno, la realidad es que
el
día de hoy vamos a poder inscribir a Xavi y su cuerpo técnico.
Able to sign Xavi into the technical staff.
Que para enero habrá que ver si hay otras acciones
we'll have to have a look to see if there are
del verano
anything else we can do.
Conseguir más fair play. Y
about those that come in summer regarding the fair play regulations.
Deportivas que
and then we'll have to look at what other sporting needs the coach has.
Estamos trabajando
We've got a
en
month and a half yet.
diferentes
We're looking at various different
y bueno, sí te puedo
situations.
decir que a día de hoy no
And I can
existe
say
esa
that
posibilidad.
as
El día
of
1
right
de enero
now,
veremos.
there's not a possibility, but on the 1st of January, we'll have another look.
Hola, Dani. Xavi Hernández de TV3, benvingut. Volia preguntar si ja has tingut temps de parlar amb
I wanna
Xavi a
ask
banda de
you
la conversa
if
telefònica
you've
a la qual et va demanar de tornar.
been able to
A
speak
nivell
with
futbolístic, què t'ha
Xavi.
demanat, quin rol espera que tu tinguis a l'equip?
What
I
footballing
si
role
després
do you
del teu pas per
expect
Brasil,
in the team? What does he
on ha
expect
jugat
of
en
you?
posicions diferents, que ha jugat en posicions més avançades,
And also,
aquí en el Barça tens
in
clar que
Brazil,
el teu
you
lloc
play
és el
different
de
positions.
lateral
You also play a
dret.
bit more up front. In Barça, will you be on the right wing?
Hemos hablado y
we spoke,
vengo aquí para jugar de lateral.
and I come here to play as a wing back. That's the position I know best, but I'm quite versatile. I think when you limit yourself, you're doing yourself an injustice. I can do many things. I always thought to help the team and to think of the collective good. Xavi will decide where I will play. I'm training to be a wing back, and I'm gonna fight hard to win a place on the squad. It all depends on me, of course, on my input.
Consiguiendo pues el derecho de poder vestir esa camiseta y desde el primer plan.
My plan is to do justice to the shirt.
Didac Beiret, del Diario Sport. Mi pregunta es para Dani Alves. Desde que tú te fuiste, han llegado muchos laterales derechos a Barcelona y ninguno ha logrado asentarse.
A lot of wing-backs have come to Barcelona, and none of them have had so much success that you had.
El mismo rol que tú, ¿y qué consejo le darías a
What would you
Serginho
give?
Dest, que es un futbolista que ha dicho
Advice would you give to someone like Serginho Dest, who has said that you're his idol?
Bueno, yo soy especial.
Well, I'm very special. There's nobody like me. There's never not two of you.
Como en otras posiciones también ha pasado grandes jugadores en este club.
Many players have come through this club.
Particular, ¿no? Aquí solo ser bueno no.
Just being good is sometimes not good enough.
Más que bueno, ¿no?
You have to be better than good. You have to understand the philosophy of the club. You have to understand the style of play.
Y muchas veces las personas no encajan por X